What I pray against the waster.
Hello, moderator. What time are we starting?
Okay, I'm just looking at the attendance now, 55. Although many people are on the queue. So let's see. Maybe we start anytime from maybe next 2 minutes we start off. Others will join.
Okay. Okay, or you do like 10 minutes and continue admitting them.
Okay, so 10 minutes.
Distraction. So continue admitting them.
Okay. So it will be 10 minutes from now.
Yes. Or let's start at, okay, 5:15, 5:20 will be fine.
Yes.
If you avail me hosting right, I can also be admitting to make it faster.
That is correct. That's correct. Let me see. Yes. Done.
I'm going to be no matter what. I'm the meeting.
That's good. You don't need to. Okay, I'll check.
This meeting started. I'm not hearing anything.
We've not started. We are still admitting people into the meeting room.
Okay.
We'll be starting in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Some people are joining with 2 equipments. Why? Olga Zimmerman, why are you joining with 3 different devices? Moderator, can we start? Please mute everyone. Moderator.
Okay, good. Good day, everyone. You are welcome to today's event. I think the slide should be up there. Please note that we are already live on YouTube, on the YouTube link. So if you check your end, if you joined us from a WhatsApp group, you should have gotten the link to the YouTube channel, which you can share with your friends and loved ones. Based on the attendance that have applied, I believe that we will be more. I don't know if you're hearing that. That's an echo.
Yes, I'm hearing you very well.
Yes. This event is brought to you by this platform, and our host is already in the house in the person of Her Royal Majesty Adaku Chidume-Okoro. So, please, Madam, the floor is open.
Thank you, our moderator, Mr. Nnamdi. Some people are already complaining that they don't have voice. Can you check what the problem is?
Okay, for those that don't have voice, please check your mic. Your mic. If you look at your mic, if you're using a laptop on the left side, at the base, you see mute, something that says mute. Now you need to look at the right-hand side of it, scroll up, and set the mic settings to same as system. Should be good to go. The fault is not from here, it's from your end if you're not hearing us.
Okay, thank you. Welcome everyone and happy Sunday. I hope you had a good day already. We are continuing with our mentoring series on the export of Nigerian agricultural produce. Today will be our 5th topic in the series we are handling. And our today's topic, as has been advertised, is procurement of export quality goods. So I'll just go straight to the content. Please, those raising their hands, if you can just do a chat in the chat box, that will help in case there's anything we're not getting right. So I go straight. Nnamdi, please, can you screen the first slide?
Okay.
Are we there?
Yes.
Okay. For our today's topic 5 mentoring series, the content of what we are going to handle will be as follows. First and foremost, we'll do a recap of our previous lessons, and then I'll do a preamble and update on the grant we were asked to apply for. We will then go straight to topic 5, which is procurement of export quality goods. There will be a relevant analogy. I'll try also to link your procurement to the contract terms that you already have if you've had one or you are about getting one. Of course, I'll give you a general overview of what a contract looks like. I will also tell you where you can locate your products. Then I'll give you a rundown of some basic commodities you can export out of Nigeria for the non-oil sector, precisely agric produce and forest products. I will also give you list some countries where you can export your goods to. The screen has disappeared. Take me back to the screen. Thank you. So some destination countries, and then avenues through which you can purchase or procure your goods, the packaging for such commodities, then how do you deliver to your shipment points, on and on, then things to look out for under nuggets. Conclusion, you'll be given time for question and answer and the class assignment. Thank you. So we are good to go. Slide 1. Slide 1, Nnamdi. Hello? Hello? Can we go to slide 1? Moderator, are you hearing me?
I have a little technical issue here. Just a few minutes.
Yes, same here too. Okay, I think mine is working, so I go on.
Okay.
Recall that in my previous lessons on this mentoring series, I have repeatedly made the following statements and assertions on the need for us to key into the agricultural value chain business. First and foremost, I have told us times without number that Agric export is a sustainable business capable of transforming one's financial story for good if handled with absolute dedication, utmost care, and focus. I've also told us that Agric exports is not a deal, but a business, meaning that it's not a one-chance business. It's not something you expect to enter today and dash off tomorrow after making a kill. No, it's something that you need to attend to with your full focus, strategies, plans, vision to make a good business out of it. It's not like MMM where you just put in your money and you expect it to grow overnight and then you harvest and that's the end of it. I have also told us that agribusiness, with all its associated value chain, as old as it is, can be adjudged the most stable form of business. Reason being that we are talking about food and food has no substitutes. Recall, I've had to tell us that Microsoft, as big as they are, despite their ingenuity, being geniuses in IT, they are yet to come up with a software that can substitute for food, meaning that since food has no substitutes, agric business will always be a business to latch onto. Food is indispensable, like the air we breathe. So as long as there's human existence on planet Earth, food will be required. So it's not possible that doing agribusiness you will now go out of business unless you push yourself out of the business. So that is by way of recap. Then the next slide talks about my preamble and updates on the grants. Our lesson 4 topic was funding your export business. Remember, during the course of that training, we had to pause the mentoring series to allow mentees time to apply for 2 COVID palliative grants that we got information on. These grants were the one from the federal government of Nigeria through Export Promotion Council, codenamed EEDF, Export Expansion Development Fund. It's a grant, an interest-free grant. Nobody is asking you to repay anything. You just apply if your application is granted, federal government will give you some amount of money to enable you start your export business or expand your export business. Then there was also the second one, which is a similar palliative grant, COVID palliative grant from USAID. We were also told to apply for that. For the two grants, I will start with the first one, which is a Nigerian one, the one by Federal Government of Nigeria through Nigerian Export Promotion Council. We encouraged the mentees on this platform to apply. I know there were applications. Out of the several applications, I wouldn't know exactly the number of people that applied or the number of mentees that applied using their export companies. 6 of such applications scaled through the first stage of the appraisal. They were pre-qualified and written. Nigerian Export Promotion Council wrote them also, informing them of the success of their application. During the week, I have had to follow up the applications with Nigerian Export Promotion Council. The information reaching me is 5 out of the 6 companies that were approved have been assigned enablers. Enablers are consultants that will now handhold you to do what you have stated that you will do on the export value chain. On this platform, there are so many of us that are mentoring, maybe in the region of 1,000 or thereabouts. So there's no how I can mentor everyone. But Nigerian Export Promotion Council, in their wisdom, they have assigned their own paid consultants to handhold each company to teach them, take them through the rudiments of non-oil exports to make sure that they accomplish their mission. So that is that for the Nigerian Export Promotion Council grants. For the USAID grants, I wouldn't know how many companies also, mentee companies applied on this platform. Information reaching me also is that the companies that have been pre-qualified are now on the second level of the assessment. They are holding virtual interviews with USAID officials, and the virtual interviews are like the final stage. So after this lecture, if any company that made that application was successful or has been invited for virtual interview, please reach me so that I can guide you so that we don't miss out on that also. That is that. Thank you. So we continue with today's topic, which is procurement of export quality goods. We will be focusing on how best to procure our export quality goods, the handling of such goods, as well as packaging the goods for export. Procurement, by way of definition, is a process. By way of definition, procurement is a process of purchasing goods or services and is usually in reference to business spending. Business procurement requires preparation, solicitation, and payment processing, which usually involves several areas of a company. Whereas purchasing, I'm sure you'll be wondering, why are we talking about procurement instead of purchasing goods for exports? Purchasing focuses on short-term goals, such as fulfilling the 5 rights in a transaction. That is right quality, right quantity, right cost, right time, and right place. Whereas procurement management focuses on strategic long-term goals, like gaining a competitive advantage or aligning itself with corporate strategy and customer satisfaction. For the purposes of our Agric mentoring expert series, what we will be interested in is procurement, which is a package. The next slide. This one, I have called it relevant analogy. Listen to me carefully. A customer enters a beauty shop with lots of varieties of products, makes his choices on needed items, as well as payment to the sales girl of that shop for the products chosen. He trusts the sales girl to pack and wrap the selected items in a shopping bag as he settles down on the shop's visitor's seat. The sales girl hands over his package in a few minutes to him, and he leaves for his house. On getting home, he discovers that the brand item is not what he paid for. What would you do if you are in his shoes? Did you hear me? What will you? So if you're in this customer's shoes, what will you do? That is the question. Keep your answers to yourself. When we get to the question and answer session, you will tell me what you would do, because this is just a relevant analogy we are taking from. Next slide, please. I don't know why the thing is freezing. Moderator.
Yes, I can hear you.
It's not taking me. It's not taking me to the next slide.
Okay, I have just moved to the next slide. This one.
Okay. Okay. So the next slide is talking about linking your procurement to your contract terms. The procurement stage is a very crucial and critical stage of your export transaction. Please pay attention to what I'm saying so that you get it right and we reduce the number of questions during question and answer. If you don't get the quality right, you run the risk of your goods being returned back to you at the port of entry into the importing country. If you escape that, you will lose your customers' trust and confidence, with consequent severance of that relationship. It is therefore very important that you pay special attention to this aspect of your business. Recall that in your contract document, you would have agreed and signed off with your customer on the quality, that is on the quantity, that is how many kilograms or metric tons to supply, and the quality also. Is it hand-picked selected? Is it fair average quality or reject? Plus allowable impurities level, including but not limited to the percentage moisture content. These parameters will be your guiding compass at this stage as you proceed with your procurement for exportable goods. Also, your contract would have specified allowable ash level, including metals and lead, which are completely disallowed. There are other specifications as well. All you need to do is to use this as a guide. Moderator, please, can you check on the people that are complaining about their mic and all that? They are blocking. No, go back to the last.
What I
Go
see.
back to the slide before the last one. Okay. So there are other specifications as well. You use this as a guide and then engage the services of a food testing laboratory to be on the safe side, because you may not be in a position to determine all this by yourself. Go to the next slide. Your product location. I'm sure you'll be wondering by now, where do I even source these products? Well, where you source the products, the locality of your commodity sourcing will be determined by the type of commodity you want to export. Because what you find in the Sahel region of Nigeria are different from what you have in the Sahara region, are different from what you may get in the rainforest region or middle belt. These locations, like I've stated here, could be the rainforest zone, the middle belt, the Sahel/Sahara zone of Nigeria. Next slide.
Sorry, please. I think she's been clipped off. Let me see.
So sorry for the disruption. Our enemies are at work, but by God's grace, we'll finish. I went offline. I've been trying to connect back, but I'm back now. Thank you. So before my connectivity went off, I was trying to run through some list of possible exportable agri-forest product commodities that you can export out of the shores of Nigeria to other parts of the world. They are as follows: cleaned sesame seeds, cashew kernels, cocoa beans, cocoa butter, cocoa liquor, cocoa cake, cocoa mass, dried hibiscus flower, dried hibiscus flower powder, dried split ginger, fresh whole ginger, ginger powder, ginger oil, ginger paste, ginger oil resin, ginger juice. All these are manufactured through processed products. Then you have whole tiger nuts, you have tiger nuts milk, you have charcoal, you have chili pepper. For chili pepper, there are different shades and varieties, which include dried, fresh, powder, cabled, paste, and so on. You also have rubber crumb. You have Afromemium melegueta, otherwise known as, I can only remember the local name in my place. We call it osoji. Then you have kola nuts, both fresh and dried. You have shea nuts, you have shea butter, you have animal leather, you have frozen crabs and shrimps. You have frozen fish, you have vegetables, you have herbs, a lot of herbs and botanicals. Next slide. Then some Nigerian export destinations. I'm sure you'll be wondering, where and where can I export these goods to? You have a whole lot of countries you can export Nigerian goods to. I have listed some here. The list is not exhaustive. The list is not exhaustive. These countries of the world include China, Pakistan, Japan, Bangladesh, USA, South and Latin America, EU countries like France, Netherlands, Germany, Scandinavian countries also, Russia, African countries. You'll be amazed that you can export Nigerian goods to neighboring countries of Nigeria like Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Niger, Mali, and so on. You can also export Nigerian products to the Middle East, India. This list is not exhaustive. It's just a guide on where you can look for markets. Next slide. For you to get your product supply, I've listed 3 main avenues you can explore to do that effectively. One is you're either buying directly from the farmers or from the middlemen or from licensed commodity merchants and agents. As is expected, if you're dealing with the farmers, you are going to buy at the cheapest possible price. If you're dealing with the middleman, the price will be a bit higher. Or for the agents, the price will be highest. But then it's like talking to the experts. So you don't want to go to the farmers and collect just anything. You'd rather deal with the agents who know what to look out for, whom you can give your specifications to, and they will, if it's an honest agent anyway, they will guide you aright, being that they at least have good knowledge of the commodities. In all the above, your contract quality specification must be your watchword so that you don't buy blindly. When goods are delivered to you in whatever form, that is whether you bought from the farmers, from the middlemen, from the agents, there will be need for you to regrade the goods so delivered to meet your exports order contract specifications. This will usually be done in-house in your own organization, either using machines, cleaning machines, or using casual labor hands. Next slide. Packaging. There is need also to package the goods in conformity with contract specifications. In your contract, your customer may want you to pack the goods in 10 kilogram bags or 25 kilogram bags or 50 kilogram bags. It depends on what they can handle, what they find more convenient. So your customer cannot tell you to pack their goods in 10 kilogram bags and you go ahead and pack in 50 kilogram bags. They will not accept it from you. So whatever the contract term specifies, that is what you're expected to work with. And then you must also use the type of bag specified in your contract documents. All packaging bags are not the same. Some bags go well with certain products. Some go better with some other type of commodities. So you won't say because somebody is using jute bag to pack beans, then you want to use jute bag to pack a commodity like, say, hibiscus flower. So whatever the contract terms specify in terms of packaging bags, you work with that. The packaging bag could be propylene bags, it could be double propylene bags, it could be jute bags, it could even be badges, in which case you use big sack bags to package. Then in your packaging, you take cognizance of the net weight and the gross weight. The net weight will be the gross weight minus the weight of the packaging material. Usually something like 0.2 kg should be adequate provision for the weight of the packaging bag. If you also put that packaging material on the scale, you will discover that it's about 0.2 kg. I didn't say 2 kg, I said 0.2 kg, just a little fraction of 1 kg. So the difference between the gross weight, that is the weight of the product plus the bag, and the net weight, which means the weight of the content only, the material only, excluding the packaging material. The difference is usually referred to as the tar weight, T-A-R-E, tar weight. Your customer may request you to obtain certifications from recognized agencies that the quality requirements they want comply with what you are packaging. So you have to pay attention to that. These certification agencies could be maybe a Standard Organization of Nigeria, it could be SGS, it could be anything. depending on what the specification in your contract term is. Next slide. Delivery of the goods for shipment. With your commodity purchase, grading and packaging concluded, your next step is to move the consignment to the port of shipment. It can be the seaport or cargo terminal of the airport or courier company. You know, for very lightweight materials, you can use courier companies like DHL, UPS, depending on what you're shipping. For the seaport and cargo terminal deliveries, assuming it's a bulk shipment of up to, say, 20 tons of that product, you need to land truck from the point of purchase to the seaport or cargo terminal. In land trucking, depending on the size of the consignment, you can rent a whole truck. I don't expect you to have your own trucks at this stage because most of us here are beginners. So you can't possibly be investing in trucks at this stage. So since you don't have your own truck, you will now have to hire a truck or hire that truck alongside some other exporters or users, so to say. So if you're hiring the truck alongside of another user, that arrangement where you share the truck space is called groupage. But whether you're hiring a whole truck or you're doing groupage, you're sharing with somebody, you have to be very conscious of contaminants. Assuming you have bought something like hibiscus flower, and then you want to land truck it, say from, example now, say from Kano to Lagos, but your consignment is such that it cannot fill the whole truck. You now want to do groupage. It will be a very wrong decision for you now to do groupage with somebody that is sending something like, say, a dried fish. Of course, the dried fish smell is going to contaminate your hibiscus, and it's not going to pass the quality test that it's needed for it to be acceptable to your customer. Next slide. This slide, I call it nuggets. That is the things to look out for, the mistakes you must not do. I am telling you this as a practitioner. If you go on your own, you may make these mistakes, but these are your watchwords. Make sure you don't fall prey to any of this. Number one is, in choosing your supplier, look for experienced hands. Don't, because your brother, your cousin, your niece is looking for business to hang on, you now go and tell your niece to supply gum arabic to you, whereas your niece may not even know what gum arabic looks like. Maybe your niece cannot even distinguish between grade 1 and grade 2 or grade 3 gum arabic. You now play, just because you want to patronize somebody that is inexperienced, you ask a person to supply. It means you have opted to fail, even from your initial step, but that's not your portion. 2, do not pay the suppliers upfront when he or she has not supplied the goods. This is not only akin to Nigeria, the world over, there are fraudsters. there are people that are opportunists. There are people that are looking for opportunity to defraud others. Some, due to ignorance, may mean well, but they may not be able to perform also. So it is better you don't give upfront money to your supplier. Wait until you see the goods before parting with your money. 3, buy only current year's crop. Reason being that most of the products have shelf life. Their quality deteriorates over time. The only goods, or one of the main goods leaving Nigeria that doesn't have a shelf life, is something like honey. It's only honey that may not have a shelf life. In 10 years, if it is real, genuine, original honey, bee honey, in 10 years, the chemical properties are still the same. But for most other goods, they have a shelf life. As part of your training, you need to find out what the shelf life for each commodity is. But for you as a starter, as a beginner, your best bet is to look for current year's crop. That is, goods that are produced in that particular year. Like now, we are in year 2021. So you're not expected to go and buy products of 2020 or 2019. They may not pass quality tests. 4, ensure that products are handled in a clean and controlled environment. If you are doing something like cassava chips, and you have order to, that reminds me, in the list I've given you, cassava is not there. It's possible cassava can be exported, but then what we know as exporters is that the local price of cassava is more expensive than the international price. So it's not one of those products you should pay too much attention to in terms of exports. So if you're doing something like cassava chips and you want to clean it by the roadside, you will collect birds' poo-poo inside that product. Sand will also enter. Maybe feathers will enter. There will be stone there. So what I'm saying invariably is that in handling your products, please make sure you handle it in an environment that is free from contaminants so that you don't have quality issues. In conclusion, the attention paid to your commodity procurement can make or mar your export business. This can either endear you to your customer or be your last business with that customer. You see, I'm using the two extremes. If your quality is right, your customer will always want to do business with you. If your quality is bad, the person will not even say good morning, will not even reply your mails again if you send them mail. It is that serious. It could also enhance your business reputation in the international space because your customer will now be referring other users of your products to you. Or if your quality is very bad, it will make you lose face with the regulatory authorities of that country because they are going to send back your product and blacklist you in their system. And once your record enters their system, you can't run away from it. For the next 10 years, each time your company's name is keyed into their system, what will come up is this is a company not to be dealt with. Thirdly, It can make your product sell at a premium or at a discounted rate. Meaning, if you're known to supply high quality good products, if others are selling at a particular price, you could add $50 or $100 to your own, and you will still sell because you're sure of your quality. It can improve or disadvantage you for payment terms with your customer. Meaning that if your customer knows your quality is reliable, as they are ordering, they can give you upfront money. They can make upfront payments even without seeing the goods, knowing that you're reliable, you're trustworthy. You can be trusted for what you are claiming to supply. Whereas if your customer thinks or has had the experience of you not supplying the right quality, when you ship goods, they want to wait until the goods get to their warehouse tested before they can part ₦1. And more often than not, because you have done a bad quality with them before, they will always see reason not to pay you 100% on your invoice. You can lose your trading capital completely if your goods are returned at the port of destination. Because the cost of returning your consignment will now entail, you have to pay freight again to bring back the goods. You have to pay custom clearing charges at the Nigerian ports again to pull it out. So it's as if you imported that goods into Nigeria. Even the cost of freighting and pulling it out, when it gets here, when it gets back here, will completely wipe off your investment in that transaction. That is not what you want to befall you as a new entrant. So please, it's imperative that you pay very good attention to your procurement. When you hear that Nigerians are sending sand abroad or things like that, sometimes it's not willful. The company may have engaged somebody, but out of carelessness, they now didn't supervise well, and what was sent to them is not what they bargained for. For further information and resource, please, I've given a website to visit, www.akoweinitiative.org. If you go there, you get further information. It's like a resource center. You can get a whole lot of materials to help you with your export mentoring. I've spoken for some time now. I will give some time, depending on our moderator, what they decide, 10-15 minutes for question and answers before I give the class assignment. Thank you, moderator.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam. Thank you for the lecture. It's highly appreciated. Now, it's time for question and answer. Please, if you have any question in the house, just raise your hand. You know how to raise your hands so that we call your name or mute you, then you go ahead and talk. Okay, we have 2 hands here. We have people now. Don't see them here. If you have a question, just raise your hand, please. No questions? Okay, we have 5 people. Let me see. How do I know them now? Hello, please. If you have question, just go ahead and speak. Let me see. Or mute yourself and speak.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Akim Odola.
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening. I want to thank Her Royal Majesty Madam Okoro for this wonderful mentoring program. Lord Almighty will reward you for this. My question is
Please, sorry, unmute. If you want to speak, just raise up your hand. So we have somebody already in the floor. Can you please unmute yourself now and talk if you're the one talking initially?
okay.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Akim Odola.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. And I want to give a special thanks to Her Royal Majesty for this wonderful mentoring program. Lord Almighty will reward you for this. My question is, how do we determine the shelf life of a product? That's my question. Thank you.
So shelf life. Now we have Ikechukwu. Please, can you unmute yourself and speak, please?
Sorry, I don't really have question except to thank Her Royal Majesty for the wonderful initiative. May God continue to grant him heart desires.
Thank you so much. Please, we have Bamot Horticulture. Please go ahead, unmute yourself and speak.
Bamot Horticulture. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Her Royal Majesty. Good afternoon, ma'am. You are blessed. Now, my question is this: when you are talking about the shelf life of the exportable products, my mind went straight. My mind went straight to the maize. If you look at the maize, it has to grow and it has to be harvested and dried for at least, if you look at the period when all these things will be end, what we'll be talking about 1 year. But before we can package for the export. But you said we should not buy any product that is not within the year. What do we do about that? Thank you, ma'am. Hello? Hello?
I heard you. We're waiting for all the questions before I respond.
Hello. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Omikunle Vincent is my name. Thank you, Royal Majesty, for the program.
What did you say is your name? Your name.
Omi Vincent Omikunle.
Okay.
Vincent Omikunle.
Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned that while trying to buy products, we should not pay in advance. And you also advise that we should not invest into college for now because as a startup. But I had similar experience when I tried to do export charcoal. The money I gave to the forwarding agent, he started delaying the contract by saying the truck is not available to go and pick the product from the supplier in Ilorin. As a result, my contract lapsed, and I've given him money to enable him get the truck and pick the product. And in this process, when one cannot invest in transport to convey the goods to the port, one may likely find it difficult because they will insist that you should pay before they get truck. And in the process, I got duped, just like you said. There was a connivance between the supplier and the forwarding agent, and they started playing me until the contract lapsed. And as such, I was unable to meet up with the contract. And up to now, even the supplier among forwarding agents who happen to be in Lagos. So in this situation, what should one do? Or what do you advise one should do? Thank you.
Is that all the questions? Moderator, do we have more questions? Hello? Moderator, do we have more questions?
Okay. Sorry, please. Patrick Kinze, can you go ahead and speak?
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick Kinze. May I thank Her Royal Majesty for the insightful session. In series, missed out the earlier days. Is there any way we can do a quick catch up? Thank you.
Okay, we have Babatunde Okay.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Babatunde Okay. Thank you so much for this wonderful initiative. My question is, I want to ask whether it is appropriate to use a business name or limited liability company for export business in order to take advantage of fund that is available for the new entrant in terms of grants. That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you. We have 4 more people. Grace Ogbonna, go ahead and speak, please. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself and speak.
Good evening to every one of us.
My
special thanks to our council member. You are great. We are proud of you. Thank you very much for this initiative. I want to ask just a clarification. One, is there any particular amount or maybe volume of business that could be risk-free, at least for a starter to start with? I got to know that there's a way that you may get a contract and they want you to be consistent in the supply of the product. And I got a hint also that if you fail in the supply according to the contract, it can also be decredit you a kind of. So I want to know, is there a way a starter can start the volume of commodity that a starter can start with? And what do you advise? Is it to get a contract, the first contract, does it supposed to be a one-off or a consistent one? That's my question. Thank you very much.
Okay. Moderator, can we attend to these ones first, and then other people can ask after, in case their concerns will be attended to, answering the earlier people that asked questions.
Yes, go ahead.
I will start with Madam Grace. You want to know whether there's any particular amount that could be risk-free. Okay, that she wants to know whether there's a particular amount of volume that will be risk-free. In answering that, I would tell her that life itself is a risk. There is no guarantee for an amount of volume that will be risk-free. But if you pay attention to this mentoring series lectures, one after the other, my mission is to guide you not to make the mistakes that I probably made. So it's like the insurance for your mistakes have already been borne by me. So I don't want you to repeat those mistakes. But whether there's any assurance on a volume or amount to prevent risk, I will tell you no. Just pay attention, follow the do's and don'ts, and your risk, your losses will be reduced to the barest minimum. And like I also mentioned to those that reached me privately, it is too early in the day for you now to venture into exports. Wait until we have concluded with all the lecture topics. By then, you will have a good information. You will have, it's like your mind will be settled that, yes, I am ready to go. If you try to do otherwise before then, it will amount to jumping the gun and you may make mistakes. So please wait, because there are still things to learn concerning export trade. Babatunde wanted to know if what type of business name that can be used. I'm sure you didn't join us for our initial lectures, maybe the first 2-3 ones. If you did, you would have heard me mention clearly, categorically, that for you to do exports outside the shores of Nigeria, what you need is a limited liability company. Even the companies, the mentee companies on this forum that applied for grants, they didn't use their individual names. They used their limited liability companies to make those applications. In fact, to ensure that we locked in as many companies as possible during the period of the application, of course, it has lapsed, so you can't even apply now. But to ensure that we locked in as many companies as possible, we also offered on this platform to help those that needed to incorporate limited liability companies by giving them guidance, and most of them were able to meet up, made the application, registered the limited liability companies, made the applications, and they have a success story. Patrick wants us to recap some of the previous lecture topics. Recapping may not be very easy for us, but we have a compendium, both slides and video recording of our previous topics. So what I will suggest is the information links that will be pushed out here. Follow them You will get copies of whatever you missed, and you go through them, you will also catch up. Omikunle narrated his experience on how he lost money making upfront payments. That is exactly what I mean. If you part with your money before you get the service, either in terms of forwarding fees, haulage, or taking delivery of your commodities, more often than not, you may be taking a big risk. Why I said you shouldn't invest in transportation is export business itself is somehow a capital intensive business, depending on which line of export you want to pursue. But if you would rather have bought, say, a truck to haul your charcoal, one container of charcoal will not buy truck. So it means you would have bought the truck, and then which money will you have to trade? Whereas renting the truck may have been, say, 150,000 or 200,000. You will still have money left to do your business. So if you go and invest all your money to buy the asset and there's no capital to pursue the trade, that wouldn't be a wise decision. Barmot talked about shelf life of the product, and he gave example of maize. The gestation period for maize is between 3 months to 4 months before they harvest. And once they harvest, within 2 months, it's dried. What I'm saying is that you will agree with me. This one doesn't need, too much talk. You will agree with me that maize of last year, 2020, is no longer very useful for 2021, even locally. So if it's not very useful, why do you want to export it? That maize of last year, 2020, by now, most of them are having weevils. By now, the weight has reduced. So what I'm saying is make sure if it's for export, apart from exporting something like maize, most of the confectionery companies, beverage companies, they also take up supplies of maize locally. If you carry maize of last year to Cadbury or Nestle, they are not going to accept it from you. So why do you want to start with a bad market? That is my submission. Deal with only current year's crop to reduce your losses or to avoid it completely. Ikechukwu, okay, your own is just compliment. Thank you for the compliment. Then, Lakim, you want to know how to determine the shelf life of a commodity. In this time and age, you can get a whole lot of information without having to stress yourself too much or to pay for it. We are operating in a global village. Go to the internet, you get all manners of information. Google search, it will tell you. If you doubt me now, just put any product and say, what is the shelf life of this product? It will tell you. So there are 1 million ways you can get information. The operators also will tell you. I can also tell you some, if you're concerned about some, based on experience. I gave the example of honey. I said honey doesn't have a shelf life. So most of the farmers will also tell you how long the product can last before it starts deteriorating. I think I have dealt with the batch of questions there. So if we have other questions, they can go ahead and ask moderator.
Thank you so much. We have Musa Isiaka. Go ahead, Musa. Okay, Ayeni Samuel. Do you still have your question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
My HRM. Good evening. Thank you for the good presentation. I want to ask, my name, you usually call me Saka so that you know me very well by my name, so that you know it's for. I want to come and do attachment. So you know we talk now.
Saka. Saka is an ICAN member.
Okay.
He looks very much like I think MCN Saka also.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I will private chat you, and another thing I want to privately ask. So I will do that in the comfort. But I must sincerely thank you that you are a blessing to our generation. Keep it on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Ikechukwu, I can see your hand up again. Okay, so Isiaka, are you ready?
I am ready.
Excellent. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. His Royal Majesty, we thank you for all your mentorship, and we pray that God will bless you. I want to beg you or plead with you that if there's a way you can, this small investor, that you can group us together in such a way that we can muzzle up a bigger fund, because international business go well with big business than the small ones, so that we can get a good deal, and then we can enjoy expertise. Thank you, ma.
Okay, we have Ikechukwu. Are you still there?
Hello, moderator. Please,
Yes.
you can check the chat room. I think there are some questions there.
Okay.
That will help.
Okay, I can see. Please, my question is, how can I get serious prospective buyers? That's Gafaro Adewale. Please share this material to. Okay, that's they want me to share the material. That will be done. How can one have access to the first 4 series of the mentorship? That you will get through the email. We'll send you a mail containing the links to the four videos, and if possible, the 4 slides, first 5 slides now. Now, we are also going to send you a form that you need to fill, so that if you want us to be sending you invite every month or every time we have this series, you fill that form, so that we'll have some of your details, so that based on that detail we'll be sending you email invites. So I think that's all. So bear in mind that we are going to send you the video links to all the first 5 series, including this one, and the slide, together with a form that you need to fill, that will you provide some details about yourself. Now, somebody did talk about bringing you in groups. That form can also help us to bring people together in groups. So once we know some of your details, we'll be able to bring you together in groups. Then we'll see how we can do it together as a team. Thank you, Madam. Over to you.
Okay. So I start with Isiaka. Isiaka is the same person as Musa, right? who talked about grouping of companies to enjoy volume? Oh. The moderator has proposed that after filling the form, we will now see what is possible in that direction. But my submission is this. For this mentorship, I'd rather people grow individually, because from experience, if you put 2 or 3 or 4 strange bedfellows together to sleep, nobody will have a comfortable night's rest. So it's, some people are laughing. So it's better we grow at our pace. If your money is not enough or up to doing 1 container of, say, ginger, it could be enough to do 1 container of sesame seed. It could be enough to do 1 container of charcoal. It could be enough to do some other products. So for this mentoring series to achieve its purpose, as much as possible, let us see ourselves as independent units. Whatever opportunity that shows up, don't play with it. You know, when we're talking about that funding, I'm sure a lot of us were thinking, how can government give you money? Nigeria government for where? I'm sure that's what was at the back of the mind of most of us, and that made them not even to attempt to apply. But the brave ones, the risk takers, the maximum risk takers, went out of their way to make that application. And today, we have 6 success stories. So as we go along, there will be opportunities. There will be opportunities. Whatever opportunity you have, please latch onto it. Something will come out of it. That's my response to that. But get your forms filled like the moderator has stated, and we see what you're proposing is cooperatives. We will see if it's doable. If not, you just limit your own, you limit to the low value commodities so that you don't, you know, carry more than you can handle. Then Ayeni Saka wants to do attachments. I'm just wondering if this is your first time with us in this series. You know, everybody on this platform, including some other platforms that we are running, they are all on attachments. Mine is to guide everybody. Everybody is very, very special to me. You are free to reach me personally, but I can assure you, I pay more time and attention to what we are doing here collectively. And everybody is also achieving results. You know, people are pursuing their dreams passionately for non-oil exports, and they are making good progress. Gafar wants to know how he can get some serious prospective buyers. So, remember there's a resource link that has been put up. Maybe if you go there, you can get some of those concerns addressed. But everything is on the internet. But if you go there specifically, you will get answer to this. I don't know if I've addressed all your concerns. Have I?
Do we still have questions? I can see that there's no more questions from here, except if there's any. Okay, we have Lillian Mbono. Lillian, go ahead. Olainka Isa. But Lillian, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please, my question is based on the very first question that Her Royal Majesty asked at the beginning of this session. I would want to answer the question. I don't know whether you're hearing me.
Yes, remind me of the question, please.
You assume we went to buy certain products.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, it wasn't what we paid for that we saw in the packaging. And then you asked what would be our reaction. So for me, I would say I'm going to send all the package back to the people I bought it from because they weren't what I actually requested for.
Exactly. Will you go to that shop again?
I will never.
Exactly. Will you ask for your money back?
Why not?
Exactly. So what will you now tell people concerning that shop? Assuming you're to give a testimony of that shop.
I'll tell nobody to go there because they're not standing to their words.
Yeah. You remember I said it's an analogy that addresses our matter, our concern for today's series.
Yes, I understand.
So, so see yourself, see your business, see your relationship with your prospective customer in that light. So if you don't get it right, you have spoiled it forever. There's no second option. They are going to spoil your name. You are going to spoil the relationship. They are going to ask for their money back and they will never deal with you again. Thanks so much for answering that question.
God bless you, man. Thank you, man.
Then the last question, somebody
Olainka Isa.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so my question, although this is my first time of joining this section, so, and then from what you said, I think I've missed a lot. And then I'm highly interested in this business. And then I think before now, this is part of the things I've been planning to like go into. So it's just because of the fear of unknown. So, and then I've been skeptical. So, and then with your guide, so what can one do maybe in terms of maybe getting a loan? I know somebody asked that question in this section, but so I don't think you have addressed that. So how can we get a grant? So if we are ready to go into this kind of business.
Okay, to answer you, there were two specific grants. We are not talking about loan, no. We are talking about grants. Can you mute yourself? Okay, there were two specific grants that were brought to our attention just before our topic 4 mentoring series. Those are COVID palliative grants being offered by USAID, one, and then the Nigerian government. So mentees on this platform were asked to apply with their business names, and we have, as a date, 6 success stories. It was just a reference. Since this is your first time of joining us, I would suggest you go through the lecture series of what we have done so far, because we have talked about funding. We have dealt with the topic funding. So it's only when you go through it that you will now be on the same page with us. That will address your concerns also. Thank you.
No more questions at this moment.
Okay, next slide. Okay, As is usual with us, just to make sure that we are paying close attention to the energy and time we are spending here, there is a class assignment. And this class assignment also we will do and turn in our answers. And the next mentoring series, which I hope to be in 2 weeks' time, bearing every exigency, we are expected to turn in our answers before the next mentoring topic 6, which will be in 2 weeks' time, God helping us. So the class assignment is for the exportable Nigerian products listed during the course of this lecture. That long list, I ran through as possible exports list, but not, we can export things far. There are so many things, it can be up to 3 times of that. If I now add other items you can export out of Nigeria. So I said, kindly research and list where you can source them in Nigeria. It means for each product, you will tell us in your answer the location where you will source it. I have told you the list of items you can export. So your own is to tell me where you can source it for export, because that is part of the mentoring series. I don't believe in spoon feeding too much. If you spoon feed a baby too much, the baby will vomit. So sometimes it's good to allow the baby to gulp and swallow what you have put in his or her mouth before you bring up another one in the another food in the spoon to give the baby. So I will request that you do this research, give me the answers before we proceed on our next series topic. The last slide. By way of a closing remark, I just want to say thank you so much for your time, and we hope that you enjoyed this session. Please remember to complete the data form because it will be used for subsequent invites. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Her Royal Majesty Adaku, Chidume-Okoro. Thank you so much for taking us through this 5th series. We hope to see you at the 6th one. To those of us that are just joining us for the first time, this event was brought to you by Page Platform. Page is known as Professional Accountants Group Email. It's a group of chartered accountants. I know that most of us here, some of us here are not accountants. So, but you're just privileged to be enjoying some of the things that flow out of the accountants. So make sure your child or your son, your daughter enroll to become a member of ICAN in the future. If for more information, we will send you a mail. And that's why we are talking about the data capturing the form that will be in the mail. You might also answer this assignment through another form that will be put in the mail, and you'll be getting that today. So please continue to flow and share the knowledge with other Nigerians, because that's the only way we can take away poverty from this society. A lot of kidnapping going on, a lot of jobless youth going about, causing going to crime and the rest. If we're able to share this knowledge and share and employ some of them, to a great extent they'll be engaged and crime wave will come down. Fighting crime is not only by use of gun or arresting people, by providing them with jobs, taking them off the streets, you make them more useful to the society. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you at the next session. Remember that each time we stream each session we stream it live on YouTube, on our YouTube channel known as Page TV. So each time we come, if you don't have the link, we will share it. Then you can in turn share it with other Nigerians who are not able to attend. You belong to your old students association, share it there. You belong to your church association, share it there. You belong to your mosque association, share it there. You belong to other cultural groups, share it on their WhatsApp platform so that their eyes can open. Please, thank you so much and God bless you. Madam, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, moderator. Please, before you cut off, I feel that the beneficiaries of the EEDF grant, you should maybe put them together like in a WhatsApp forum, so that I know exactly what is happening with them, if they have concerns, if the council, Export Promotion Council reaches them and there are things they can't handle, they are able to reach me quickly for me to come in so that we don't lose on the miles we have gained so far. Also, if anybody has been invited by USAID for their own grants, they should quickly reach you. You bring it to my attention so that I can guide them for their next stage of interview, which is the oral interview. I needed to state this so that people will know, mentees will know that we are here for business and we mean business and we are achieving results. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Take care.